Guruji will take a class.
You have a lot of questions. I was hoping that we should repeat your class, or maybe have one in the webinar, right? Have one in the webinar. Those slides are very large. Okay, so right. So maybe after you go back, we will log into one of the Google meetings, and you can do your presentation again, so that you can have enough time to do it calmly and slowly and record it, because your research was astounding. I believe everybody wanted any problem. Thank you for your hard work and your research. But we don't want to miss it. We want that. Thank you. He's been with me for a long time. There's so many of you. And so basically we are going to treat this as a question and session, because for some reason I forgot to get my laptop. And my laptop has this slide, which is good. So can you hear me? Yeah. Loud enough, right? So we will answer your questions that you have, or any of the speakers. Speakers, so many of them talked about things. Let me listen to your questions that you have had so far. Anybody, who is the first question? What is the question? Anybody has any questions? Have you had time to review? No. No time to review. Do you have any questions, Tara? No. You understood everything. Good. So, sure. Once I tell you get closer.
Today just learned that saying Ram Ram is very auspicious and very, and you're supposed to do it all the time. Right? So why do we have the time, that we have to do it only in the morning before 12? Why can't we just recite it all the time whenever we want to?
Very good question. Why can't we do the Ram Nam all the time? Firstly, do you agree that it is something very pure? Do you agree it is something very auspicious? Number one, right? What is there in the name Ram? The first thing is, it is very auspicious, it is very pure. Put it off. Well, that's the one. I'm in the class. Right. First thing, there is a lot of fire in it, right? There is a lot of fire in that name. If you remember my class, I made you do the Agni Bijas, Ram Ram, Rim Rim. So the important quality of the name Ram, it is pure Agni. The purest form of Agni, don't forget that. Should you be carrying, let's say you have a burning lamp in your hand. Should you be dancing with that lamp? You will burn. The hot oil will fall on your hand, right? Should you take that lamp like this and go to the toilet? No. Do you think you can take that lamp and hold it in one hand and eat your food? No. Do you think you should sit in your car and carry that lamp? No. So it's very simple. You can do it all the time, provided you are aware of the fact that you are doing Ram Nam. Did you understand it? No? What was so difficult about understanding it? That means don't use the toilet for 24 hours. Don't eat food for 24 hours. Don't go and pick up a glass of water for 24 hours. You can do it continuously, provided you don't do anything else. Hanuman could do it, so you can if you are under Shani Dasha and there is no cure, your remedies are not happening, my Sade Sati is not getting cured, start Ram Nam. Ram, 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 Ram. Your Shani will yield. There is no remedy more powerful than the name of Ram for Shani Dasha. There is no powerful remedy than the name of Ram for Sade Sati. Because the shadow cannot stay with you. It will have to go. But all you have to do is to ensure that you are clean. You sit down in a clean place, sit down. Don't bother about other things. Stay focused and do the. Even if you do it for 5 minutes, it will do the magic. 5 minutes is a lot. I used to do it for a minute and feel so happy. 1 minute. Okay? In fact, gradually you will progress to Rome. Then you know that my Gayatri, I am now ready for the Gayatri. Right? Okay, that was one very nice question. Thank you. Next question.
I wanted to ask one question. That is from Rama's chart. It is we know Lord Rama's purpose onto this planet, born to Goloka. How do we get to know that particular purpose from his chart? Like he wanted to kill Ravana and establish the Ramarajya. So from his chart, how do we infer that?
He never wanted to establish Ram Rajya. That is the wrong concept. I mean, who wants to establish a kingdom? Who does not have a kingdom? If I don't have a kingdom, I have to establish a kingdom. He who is the Lord of the universe does not have to prove to anybody that he is the Lord. Clear? Very clear on that, right? So whenever somebody says something, think calmly. Is this the purpose? No. Only two purposes are there. One, to fulfill the curse of Narada, and the second, to kill Ravana. That was the two purposes. To know the purpose for the Agamana, we have to know the Atma Karana. And there are some other things which we see. Which we will see, you will study when we study the other charts. I think I have slides for that. I will do those questions. There are ways to find out why we have come and what we have to do. And there are some simple village methods. Not all this complicated Atmakara kind of. Because in the village they don't have time. Half the time the Panchangams are all over the place. So broadly they just see some clarity. You see, ever since I have come to Ayodhya, I have gone into what is called village mode. That means when I landed in Ayodhya, it is as if my Guru is walking with me. Indeed, first I was taken into a beautiful hotel called Signet Hotel. Where is our person who took me there? So we went there. And from the time I landed, you two are witness, I did what? 30 horoscopes? Continuously till midnight. Continuously, with a smile. Because that is the original Sanjay. Sometimes the horoscopes are there, sometimes they are not there. It is okay. I can do Jyotish both ways. 30, for people are coming, going, this is your problem, this is your problem. You saw that, right? That is what, there was no burden. These, no, half the time the charts are only Hindi, they are written somewhere, some piece of paper, somebody is putting out something on the phone, you are doing something. Something. That was Jyotish, the village Jyotish. Then I came here, again it was like that. And then I asked him, and he was sitting there. And I think yesterday I told him something, like what did I tell you? Did I tell you something peculiar? You were trying to tell me all the planets. And I was too tired. What did I tell you?
I was trying to read you the whole chart, and you said, don't read the whole chart, just tell me 1 to 3 planets. I told you very specific events. Shall I tell the events? One was the death of the father. Second was the native married somebody whom he did not love, and that's why the marriage was not good. And second, that he had a hotel business, and all he knew was the Lagna was Scorpio with Saturn in it, Dhanu had Mars in it, and Jupiter was in Aquarius. That's all. Thank you. Too much actually, I didn't need to.
How was that? Right. So basically, you don't need more information. You need the skill. Your skill is what matters. Too much information is jumbling your head. If you have the skill, you can dance. You can dance with anything. Okay? So remember that Jyotish is about developing your skill, is about polishing your soul. How sharp is that soul?
The best was when the lady came and she asked a question and you went like this. Just check your watch. And you reeled it off. And she kept looking at you like this.
Yeah, that is the watch first.
I know.
You know, once you have the watch in your hand, I mean,
She was really, taken back.
yeah, she was pretty shocked because she couldn't imagine somebody can tell you your whole life just with a watch. Whole life. So that is the grace of the Guru. When I come for events like this, I truly believe that my Guru will come with me. He will not abandon me. He will not tell me, Sanjay, you can just go and do that and you are doing and I am not there. That confidence with which I do and I teach about Ram, that comes because of the faith that my Guru will not leave me. That is why I first pray to my Guru before I start. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. We have not seen God, so it's very tough to have faith. But you have seen your Guru, so you can have faith. Good. So it is that which is the polishing of the skills. And you have to have blind faith in the Guru. Because when you have blind faith and blind, absolutely blind, then you will have blind faith on the Parama Guru. Then blind faith on the blind faith on Shiva, the Parameshwari. You cannot say I have blind faith on Shiva if you don't have blind faith on your Guru. It's simple. It is very simple. You cannot say they are layers on top of your head. The Guru is the one who touches your head. The other three are not touching, they are one after the other. So if you don't have faith on this, you cannot have faith. And faith is the only sattva guna that is there on you. You don't have any other sattva guna. If you have sattva guna, you have faith. If you don't have sattva guna, you don't have faith. Period. Nothing else is sattva in you. Below this point, below this top point, Rajas will start, and then rest is tamas. So the only thing I tell you, the only chance that you have is to have blind faith on the Guru. Any subject, you have multiple Gurus. Don't get confused. You are not good in mathematics because you never had faith in the Guru, the mathematics Guru. You have faith in your Guru, you will be delivered. And it is not an option. It is not the option that the Guru will do. It is the decision of Shiva. The decision is not that of the Guru. You have faith, Shiva will deliver. If you say, my Guru did not do anything, he is not the one who is doing anything. He or she is not doing. It is Shiva and blind faith on the Guru. And he delivers day or night. Never lets me down. So that was my big secret. And it's a very small thing. But it is the biggest thing. Yeah, the lady was gone. I mean, because you know why? Because I can't imagine how these things happen. So when I come for conferences like this, where Ramayana is involved, where the Bhagavatam tomorrow could be involved, where Vishnu Puran could be there, then the Guru should. If it is just some Jyotish class, we will not bother. Sanjay can handle. Just like now I have so many Jyotish gurus, so many of them. So when they are doing class, they are telling, when are you coming? I will come. He's coming. You heard that, no? Over the phone. Then they're recording music and all and expecting me. It's Jyotish, you can do it. Why do I need to? And I know they can do it. It's not that is the faith I have. They can do it. Why do you want me? What is it that you want me for? This is not something exceptional that you will do. Well, normal Jyotish, you can teach me. I have faith. And where does this quality of faith come from? 12 house. Pisces. My Pisces is very strong. That is why Parashara says, if Jupiter is in Pisces, the person will get moksha. That's all. One condition. And on what did he base that condition? On faith. Absolute faith. He will. When you have that faith, you will come. So good. That is what Ram is all about. Okay. Any nice questions? Good.
I don't know. You were saying when Jupiter is in Pisces, it's absolute blind faith. How to bring Jupiter into Pisces if we don't have it?
Right. How to bring Jupiter to Pisces if you don't have it? Find the connection that will bring you to Pisces. Look for a connection how you can bring you to Pisces. If it is in the Rashi chart, you are wrong with it, in certain part of your body. And if it is not in the Rashi chart, look for the Navamsha. If it is in Pisces in the Navamsha, your marriage will bring Jupiter into your life. Where is your Jupiter in Navamsha?
That's in Tula.
Tula.
But in Dashamsha it's in
Pisces.
yes.
Alright. Some Varga it will be there. That is one of the ways to bring it to Pisces. What are the other ways to bring it? The disposition of Jupiter can be in Pisces. The drishti of Jupiter can be in Pisces. There are capitalize on that. Increase your faith. And you cannot increase the faith by blaming others. Because your faith is only you with yourself. It is your relationship with your own self. It is not anybody. There is no third party. Oh, my guru did this, or my brother did this. There is no third. Faith is only you and you. Who you are hanging. Or when you have that faith, it will work. That is why the remedies we prescribe are Upapada fasting. Huh? Today I tell you the big secret about Upapada fasting. People think that Upapada fasting that we are giving is for marriage. It is for faith. You see, Upapada fasting is increasing the faith inside you. When the faith you are not having that faith, you can never marry. What about the rishis? So many rishis who are not married. Of course they are married. Marriage in the Western context is only with a man and a woman. Marriage in the Indian context is also between a man and his Ishta Devata. That is why Ishta Devata is in the 12th. Ishta Devata is in the 12th. Ishta Devata has no connection with your religion. Your Dharma Devata has connection with your religion. Ishta has no religion. When you die, there is no religion. When you are born, you may be a Hindu, but when you die, you will not be a Hindu. Ever thought about that? After you die, what is your religion? Do you have a religion? Are you still Christian after you die? Huh? Yeah? What do you say? Well, if there is no religion, that means Ishta cannot have religion. Religion is man-made. Spiritualism is God. Religion is 9th house. Spiritualism is 12th house. Religion will give you dharma. Spiritualism will give you moksha. Question answer sessions are how to be illuminating, right?
Guruji, how do we know that in Sri Ram's chart, sun must be within 1 degree?
Every degree is a tithi. Every degree is called a Saura tithi. Tithi means a day. The original meaning of tithi is 1 day. So how does the sun measure a day? How does Surya measure 1 day? By traveling 1 degree. 2 days, 2 degrees. 3 days, 3 degrees. These are called Saura Tithi, or sun's days. So how many days, after how many days the sun will say, okay, too long, I have to change my clothes. After 30 days, he says, my clothes are dirty, I have to change. So he goes into the toilet, changes his clothes and comes out. So basically, this going into the toilet, changing the clothes and coming out, he needs about 2 days. 1 day before ending and 1 day after. So these two must be like Amavasya and Pratipada. So the 30th degree is like Amavasya and the first degree is like Pratipada. Right? Now I want you to think of a situation. When Sri Ram Avatar came to the planet, when the Avatar came to Goloka, was there already another Avatar in the planet? It was the only time a very peculiar situation happened when 2 avatars were together in the planet. It is very difficult to understand this concept. Parashurama avatar was already there, and in that Sri Ram avatar is there. So who is God over here now? There are 2 different entities, and both are Vishnu. Right? So such a peculiar situation has not happened fortunately after that. To have 2 bodies and both are God. Or maybe it has happened also. If we take what I want you to understand is that the coming of the sun, the coming down of Surya, who holds half the zodiac, was happening for the first time. All the avatars before that were grahas, but not somebody who can hold half the zodiac, the whole daytime, the whole half. Such a big avatar is coming down. Such a big energy, half the zodiac. So therefore, it is not a normal advent of an avatar. So that was the first big avatar coming. And then an even bigger one. Someone can hold the minds of everybody. I mean, that is insane. Can you imagine? My mind is not my mind. Is your mind? No. Your mind is your mind, my mind, my mind. And he is holding everybody's mind. What the hell is going on? That means what I am thinking, I am not thinking, he is thinking for me. This is a very complicated situation when you think about an avatar who is actually able to grab your mind and play with your head. So the Krishna avatar becomes far more complicated a concept. So these avatars are very, very complicated concepts. They are not easy. So what we are doing is we are deconstructing them and trying to understand them by understanding why did Ram avatar come with all this, why did he not come with the chakra, why not with the... See, the questions. Slowly, 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 we have to walk through it, then only at some stage in the future, maybe 5 years, 10 years, a clearer painting will emerge in my head, where I will understand. Because I cannot understand Shiva. That's not possible. So my only option is to try to understand Vishnu, and then by reflection I will understand Shiva. Get the idea? Because only Vishnu knows Shiva. Even Brahma doesn't know him. Even Brahma is वो तो Mahadev बोलता है. Actually it is Maheshwar. What is Maheshwar? Those are the complications. Good question. So, any more technical questions? Did you enjoy your tea? Good. Relax.
On the lesson you were answering about the first degree. So you
Yeah,
decide-
so when we talk about the first degree, we are talking that an avatar is coming with a Saura Tithi dosha. The soul is having a blemish. No, it is Agni. The Surya, there are so many other things. The soul is having a blemish. Surya is the Sarvatma. There is a blemish in the soul. And what was the blemish in the soul of Ram? The blemish was the curse of? Interesting. And then we go further. Why the first degree? Because it has to be the first tithi. Then we say, who is the Lord of the first tithi? Then we go further detail into the tithi dosha. So anybody who has the Atma Karaka or the Lagna or any planet in the first degree or the last degree of a Rashi, remember that is your problem area of your life. That planet is a problem area of your life. That bodies, and do take upagrahas into account. Because upagrahas and aprakasha grahas are also manifestations which are having shadows. And that which has a shadow is physically present in this world. So upagrahas and aprakasha grahas are walking around us. Right? I'm taking Jyotish for a different lesson. do I know that? If your Lagna Lord is conjoined, you put that. If your Moon is conjoined, you put that. If your Lagna is conjoined, you put that. Alpha Graha is family. Which means you are going to be enslaved by somebody, or you will be enslaved by an idea. Because the shadows enslave us. Right? Yeah. Next question. Yeah. Doris. Mom, Doris. Hey. But it has to be related to Ram.
Would you please discuss a little bit more about Mula Dasha and why this is the Dasha that's mentioned in the Ramayana for the 14 years of Shani versus any other Dasha that might or might not be relevant?
Okay. Let us start in a different way about that. What are the two factors that lead to my rebirth? My karmas, bad sins of the past life, right, brothers? And desires. Two separate things. You agree with that? And karma is related to office, work. The word karma means 10th house. The word karma means work. And every planet has one home and one office, right? Do you understand that? The office is called Mula Trikona. So Mula Dasha is based on this Mula Trikona, the office of the planet. So what is Mula Dasha really? The first cycle of Mula Dasha is the punishment for the karmas of past life. The second cycle, if there is any, some people like to see second cycle also. There is a calculation for it. That is creating more karmas for the next life. So in the first cycle, you are supposed to be punished for the karmas. In the second cycle, you create more karmas. Mula Dasha is all about karmas. So what is Mula Dasha? Every graha is like one little shani. Every graha is like a shani. Who is the lord of the 10th house of the natural zodiac? Shani. So every graha is now showing us how much of shani is there in him. Welcome. Thank you for getting that. I hope we have recorded this. The record one, huh? Thank you. Don't worry, it's on record. They're going to put it on YouTube. I don't know whether this part will go, but it is important to understand that look, Mula Dashas are the Dashas associated with our karmas of past life. And there is a method of calculating these Dashas. Basically what we do is we count from a planet to its Mula Trikona. And then take the difference between the Vimshottari and this number. And that is what gives me the Mula Dasha. Having known the Mula Dashas, it becomes very, very easy. If the planet was exalted, I add a year. If it is debilitated, I reduce another year to the figure. Say Saturn's that we did for Sri Ram was Libra, where Saturn is placed. Count from Libra from the planet to the Mula Trikona, which is Aquarius. That is why the count was not to Capricorn. We don't come to Capricorn because Capricorn is not the Mula Trikona. Aquarius is the Mula Trikona, and Mula Trikona is karma. So when we do that counting, we get the number 5. Normally you are supposed to minus 1. So 5 minus 1 is 4. But because Saturn was exalted, or in the sign of exaltation, we add 1, we again get 5. Now we see the Vimshottari period, 19 years. So 19 minus 5 is 14. That is how Mula Dasha is calculated. And the beauty about the Ramayana is he picks up Saturn Dasha of 14 years. And until the time I actually showed to the world that this, because you see, every time, what is my role in Bhuloka? What is my job in Bhuloka? Somebody will criticize the Ramayana, and from somewhere the information will come to me, and I will rise to challenge it. So long as I will live, I have risen. I have never stepped back. And those days I was in government. So somebody wrote that this is rubbish. Ramayana is completely wrong. They don't know that Saturn Dasha is 19 years. This is what somebody wrote. That is how, otherwise in government I have got a lot of work to do. Okay? We are not just hanging over there and having cups and cups of tea as is being projected by people. You can vouch for that. Right? So, there was a major room on this, and that is how I said, absolutely, you don't know doesn't mean that it is not there. And that's how I answered this question. And he was completely bold. A lot of people were there in the list. Chief among them was Zoran Radosavlevich. So, Guruji, can you tell me this house? I said, I can't teach you this over the list. I will give you call. So there I have a number in my house, the time was decided, you will call, over the telephone I will teach you. That is how he learned Jyotish. He would give me a call. He would collect money, I mean, it was very expensive in Serbia those days to make international calls. He would collect money and then he would give me a call. That is how my Jyotish teaching started. So he was among my first two students. He, Narasimha, and all of those students. So they got what they call this type of. They have to make calls and answer. But because I was in government, they wanted to give me induction. I said, sorry, I am not allowed to take any money from anybody as per the law. Which I'm very honest. So that's how the whole thing. So did you get the principle behind the Mula Dasha? So when Mula Dasha is all about Mula Trikona. So if you don't know the Mula Trikona of the planets, how will you calculate the Mula Dashas? So therefore, most astrologers ignored the Mula Dasha of Rahu and Ketu. They say there is only Mula Dasha for 7 planets. Why? Because they don't know the Mula Trikona of Rahu and Ketu. But for you it is very easy. I told you what it is. Did you know that before that it was only ignorance? For you it is easy. Sanjay has told you. Mula Trikona of Rahu is 6 hours. Easy to understand. There is a snake where there is a grass. And same way, Mula Trikona of Ketu is Moksha house. Do you know which is the planet who is closest to Vishnu or closest to Ram? Who can take me to Vishnu? Which of these girls can give the guarantee that he will take me to Vishnu after I die? Only Ketu. Only Ketu can give that guarantee. Not even Brihaspati. That is why they say, what is this guarantee? It is called the promise of Ananta. Ananta Vasudeva, that's why they call him Ananta Vasudeva. It is the promise of Ananta. You walk with me and I will take you to Vasudeva. There is a temple in Bhubaneswar, they call it Ananta Vasudeva. It's a reminder that those who walk the path of moksha have only one objective, and it is called shunya, nothing. What do you want? Shunya. How many wives you have? Shunya. How many houses you have? Shunya. Zero. How many cars you got? Shunya. When everything will become shunya, there will only be Vasudeva left, because he is the Mahashunya. That is why only Ketu is moksha. So long as you have one to a figure, it is not shunya. You will come back from that. Interesting, huh? Who is the one who can teach you about this path? Jupiter. That is why he is the Guru of the Gurus. So that is why these two planets, Jupiter and Ketu, are forming the Parampara Yoga. So when you lose something, say thank you, Ananda. Whenever you lose something, learn to thank Ananda. Because he has just blessed you that you will not go to hell. So somebody lost a beautiful yellow sapphire. Huh? Say thank you, Ananda. Because you know what? You are in love with that church. No? Time for it to go? How long did you have it? 6 months. That's lucky. Have it for 6 years and then we will see the happens. Okay, interesting. Any more questions? No? Yeah? Meena's questions don't finish. She was waiting to come here. From here I will catch Guru. Right? In the list he doesn't answer, he doesn't listen.
My question is regarding why this place, Ayodhya, was chosen. Is there any specific story behind this? Why Ayodhya is so specific?
It is more to do with the geography. Every place has a geographical importance. There was a time when the sun has to come. Right? If the sun has to come, there has to be a connection with the Pratyadi Devta of Surya. Right? And who is the Pratyadi Devta of Surya? Is it not Rudra? Is it not Shiva himself? Rudra is an avatar, Shiva is the ultimate. So without that connection, how will the avatar of Surya be born? The avatar, we are not talking about anybody, the highest. So I need the avatar to be born in a place which is having a direct connection with that highest form of Shiva. Now among all the places in the planet Earth, which place is regarded as the highest place of Shiva? It's Mount Kailash. Right, it is the highest. Why is it the highest? Because it is supposed to be some kind of an Omkara sound. Sounds. There are so many. Look for mystics. Go and study in the internet mysterious things about Kailash. There are some things which are highly mysterious about it. We don't fully understand that mountain. There are things in that mountain. There are energies over there. We don't understand. There are 2 lakes near the mountain. It is the most absurd thing of nature. 2 lakes, big lakes, next to each other. They are right next to each other. They are not very far. One is Mansarovar and one is Rakshasi. The Mansarovar is absolutely calm. And they say every day the rishis come over there. Every day the rishis come over there and it is very calm and the devas and all that. Rakshasi is having waves like an ocean waves. How can 2 lakes which are next to each other be so different? Even if you say there is some tectonic or earth or whatever you want to say, how is it just affecting one lake and not the one next to it? explain these things. So do some research and try to find out how the hell is this happening. Second thing, is the water of Rakshasi sweet or salty? It is salty water. Ocean water? Ocean water near Mount Kailash? What the hell is going on? And then right the lake next to it, Mansarovar, take the water, sweet water. Then you step back, look at the plantations next to it. Around Rakshasi, everything is dead. Anything that grows will die. Anything that goes near there will die. Mansarovar, everything is flourishing and there is vegetation. In that cold out there, there is life. Two lakes right next to each other. And from that Mansarovar, a stream starts to flow down towards India, towards Bharat. And that stream comes down as the river Sarayu. So therefore, the water of Mansarovar is the same water that is flowing in the Sarayu. Therefore, Sri Ram, if he has to have the connection with that mighty Surya of Kailash, must come in a land which where the Sarayu is flowing. You agree on that? So among the places that are here, now we have to choose a place where Surya has to come. Surya is the symbol of royalty. His exaltation is in the only royal Rashi called Aries. No other planet can get exalted in Aries. Only Surya. Absolutely royal. So he has to be born in the most royal of the households. That was Dasharatha, the most royal of the households in the path of the Sarayu. That is why he was born out here. Clear? Any more questions?
Guruji, could you expound on why the Sun Avatara must have the nakshatra in Kashyapatara?
Which is the Kashyapatara?
The concept of Kashyapatara, what's that statement about?
Kashyapatara? What is Kashyapatara?
I'm not aware of this, but I
Well, you will have to quote it for me. If you cannot quote it for me, how will I answer your question? Why are you assuming that this is absurd? You know how big the Ramayana? Why do you assume I will know where it is from? Yeah. If you quote it for me, then I can probably give you a. Okay? Anything else? Not only is Surya in the first degree, it is in the first Sashti. I cannot see something that is not mentioned by the Rishi who did not see it. If Valmiki did not see it, how can somebody else see it? Okay, let us assume Valmiki missed it. Or Valmiki thought that it is not so important. What about many years later, Tulsi ji, who is a reincarnation of Valmiki? Did he mention Shanta as a sister? Anybody who has read, did he mention? No? Then why should I accept it? Because for me it is very simple. Nowadays I am very careful with the source. See, every region, India is full of different regions. You know? We are multicultural people. And every people have an emotional content with the Devata. So they do different things. In some regions, they don't like Rama to be only with brothers and no sisters. Right? Only brothers, no sisters. That is not nice. to be a more fulfilled man, he should have a sister also, because one sister in the house makes the boys a bit softer. Because if only boys are there in one house, all they will know is to fight, and they are all very good fighters. You see a house having 3 boys, super fighters, 4 boys, master fighters. So they said, no, they should have something soft. I said, why? They are Kshatriya boys. If they have to be fighters, then it is better they don't have a sister. They will learn to fight right from childhood, just like the Pandavas. The Pandavas also did not have sisters. They fought all the time, they fought day and night, they woke up in the night, ate food and fought. That way they were good fighters. And Bhima gave what is called night upadesha to his little brother Arjun. Arjun, when everybody is sleeping in the night, you have to get up and fight. So you will be able to fight in the night also. Ha bhaiya, I will fight in the night. See, this is how brothers are. They are always teaching each other how to do all the nasty things. Right? That's how it works. So there is talk. What do you say? Was there a sister?
Valmiki does not say where somebody is cooking.
Exactly. You see, I will tell you how this happens. This is called local. For example, 3 years back, only 3 years back, they got tired in South India. They got really tired. Hanumanji, I have waited for so long, you have not found a wife, you will find a wife for you. So in South India, I think it was Tamil Nadu, they have got Hanumanji married. The perfect devata for celibacy and for the sadhus to worship to be celibate. Because sadhu, you want to be sadhu, you pray to Hanuman, he will teach you how to be sadhu. अब वही उसी का ही शादी करते हैं. So now no more sadhus in South India. Do you see what is the blunder they have done?
Subramaniam also.
Same, the god of war, same Mangal energy, a Mangal Devata is always to be worshipped without a wife. Because if he is married, he cannot become Karaka for 6 hours. What is a Devata? A Devata has to be the Karaka for certain bhavas. Mangal Devata has to be Karaka for 3rd house and 6th house. He cannot be Devata for 6th house if he is married. That is the reason why Subramanya and Hanuman cannot be married. So they said, no, his wife's name is Vel. I said, Are, the spear is called Vel. He is married to his spear. Yes, that is his holding that, but that is not his wife here. That is his spear. No, that is a marriage. All right. You see the thing, what has happened? He is always holding the spear like you hold your wife. You see the. So they say that's his wife. No, that is his husband.
They didn't say that.
No, pardon?
They also say that they married him off to the farm.
Yeah, they married him off. Married him off to another Shakti who represents army. Married him off to another. Ganesha likes to eat bananas. They said got him married to the banana tree. I think this is ridiculous. You married to the banana tree so that he stays in the banana tree. Just because he's hanging around the tree and eating all the time doesn't mean he's married to the tree. They do that, right? Am I wrong?
It's a ritual in Durga Puja.
The ritual. You see what I'm trying to tell you has happened? These are called local customizations. You know, you customize something locally. This is the local customization. This is not the big Sanskriti. Sanskriti is something very big. Local, they have a lot of customizations. It's okay. I don't have an objection to that, so long as I know the difference. I must know the Sanskriti and I must know the customization. Yep, you have a question? No, I saw your hand going up. You were thinking, so you need to do that. Your question. Okay. got to understand, rishis don't come down to the sexual region. They don't like all that.
But Hanuman
See-
was mentioned next to the Manipur.
Hanumanji was?
There was written Hanuman next to the Manipur.
Because, so Manipura, see, that is not just Hanuman. All of them, Bali, Sugriva, all of them came over there. So among all of them, Hanuman became a rishi. Hanuman became a guru. Right? Hanuman was not born the guru, he became the guru. That part I did not teach. Those were the slides that I didn't really finish. I had to, because somebody else walked into the room and started taking class. So I had to skip it. I'm very sorry about that. Hopefully it will not happen. It won't happen anymore. So I won't skip all those portions. Because you see that doubt remained. You thought Hanuman is the rishi. Hanuman is not a rishi, he is a guru. And he became a guru after doing tapasya. He did tapasya of Shiva first. I had to tell you about what Shiva tapasyas he did. And then he got all the siddhis from Shiva. Astashiddhi he got from Shiva. And then after getting the 8 siddhis from Shiva, he asked Shiva, what else is there for me to do? Nothing. Now you have to wait patiently and Ram will come. When Ram will come, then the purpose for which you are born will be fulfilled. So having got all the siddhis, he waited patiently. The patience with which he waited made him the guru. Because if you don't have patience, you don't deserve to be a guru. Right? That much love and patience the guru must have for them. And therefore we start Hanuman Chalisa with Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raj Nij Mana Mukta Sudhari. Right? Shri Guru Charana. So therefore he became a guru. And he remains a guru in Bhuloka. He remains a guru because he has not left, he has not died. He has just vanished from sight, but he has not died because Hanuman cannot die. He is a Chiranjeevi. Good question. Like that, there were some more things that I could not finish really. Because once you are disturbed, the flow completely goes off. I mean, you just want to finish and okay, let's go.
He came down and due to the curse of Narada, and the curse says that he had to be separated from his wife. Okay, that was the reason why Ravana took him. But what was the main reason for him to send Sita in her pregnancy state to outside? And in spite of it, though I understand he's a king and he's doing his duties, but as a husband, will that the dharmic duty will not fail him?
He is Vishnu. And if Jyotish is Satya, if Jyotish is Veda Chakshu, then he cannot go against what he has asked us to follow. It is the same Vishnu who tells us, look at the Panchangam every day, read the Panchangam to me every day. Who tells us? Jagannath tells us. We have to read the Panchanga every day to Jagannath. Why? So that we know what is the Panchanga, what is the Dasha, what we are supposed to do, what remedy. We have to follow Jyotish. Without Jyotish, walking in Bhuloka is like walking like a blind man. What is the difference between you in Bhuloka and the blind man in Bhuloka? There is no difference. He is also getting up, eating food, shitting and going to sleep. You are doing the same thing. How are you better? You have Jyotish. Jyotish is Veda Chakshu, means the eyes of knowledge, the eyes of Shiva, the Trayambakam. What is Jyotish? Jyotish is Trayambakam, the 3 eyes of Shiva. You never thought of it like that, huh? Now think about it. You are going to walk through life with the 3 eyes. So therefore you think Lord Rama is not going to follow the Jyotish children's horoscope? He must. Which is the house of children? Fifth house. Are there any planets in his fifth house? Where is the fifth lord? In seventh house. Shaya Bhava. Gone away. Going away. Where is the other fifth lord? Ketu. 12th house. So therefore Ketu is a part of the same cursing planet Ketu. Rishi Narada. So both the sons are in 7th house and 12th house. Both the sons have to be born when you are not present. Or they have to be born away from your home. They have to be born away from your place. That much is clear. Okay? Now, why does his wife have to go away for this? Why does the wife have to go away? Because she's carrying those babies. They are not being born somewhere else and then coming inside her. So she has to go away second time because of the children, not because of herself. Where will the children grow up best? Away from him. Why? They are indicated by Mars and Ketu. And what is another name for Ketu? Ants. And name is called Valmiki. That Ketu in the 12th house can only flourish in house of a Rishi, because it is the 12th house. So Shri Ram had two sons. One is Lava, Mars. The other one is Kusha. Kusha is the name of a grass, Ketu. So the problem was not Lava, the problem was Kusha. If Kusha was born in the palace of Shri Ram, he has to die. Because Ketu is debilitated in the 12th house. You think by knowing so much, the child of Shri Ram will die? So what did Rama do? Sent his wife to Valmiki. Why to Valmiki? So that Ketu's son, Kusha, will survive. And not only will they survive, they will be well educated by the great Valmiki, who will teach them Dharma, who will teach them righteousness, bring them up and all. And how do you think Valmiki's ashram was running? From where did he get the money and everything to run the ashram? Shri Ram. Have you ever heard of this answer before?
Never.
This is the difference between Jagannath, Puri and other places.
Because they were giving a lot of different things in place.
The answer is very clear. Jagannath knows Jyotish. Any other answer is not satisfactory. Bogus. You need Jyotish to understand why he did it. Yeah.
Guruji, looking at the seventh house as a Maraka and as a wife, like Patni, can we look at the spiritual concept that you presented yesterday in matters that Eka Patni, this is the journey of Shri Rama. So when we go down, this is his journey. And in these matters, he shows that following his journey, you can reach moksha in one lifetime cycle. So this is his like example. And when you reach it, you just come back. Can you look at this right? But Ekapatni is follow the path of.
The problem is Surya. Surya is Ekam. So therefore, Surya will give one Patni. And to understand that Ekapatni Dharma, I think Sarvani is talking about it tomorrow. Not fair. Not fair. Not fair. mother somebody else, so that you get rupa. So what is mother doing in the 9 months for you? Mother is giving you rupa. Mother is giving you form. Yeah. So mother is the Brahma as far as you are concerned. Your mother is your Brahma because she attached you to her umbilicus. Your Nabhi and her Nabhi are connected and she is giving you form. Beyond this is Vayu. In Vayu there is no form. Is there a form in the wind? Can you tell me the form of this room, this wind in the room? Vayu does not have any form. And then going to a place where there is no air, as you keep rising higher and higher in the atmosphere, one point the air is finishing. No? Because if you let us say you can fly, you fly and fly and fly and fly. After some time the air will finish. If you fly further you will die because there is no air. That place is what? Akash. We just shut that. That phone will never end. You know, that is why I had put it on the it's possible. Permanently. So otherwise, so what was I talking about? The Ishvara. So Akashvara. So that is why Ishvara cannot come. Now think of the 9th house. 9th house is normally what tattva? It must Dharma Rashi. You can say it is having Akash, but a lot of Agni. Akash and Agni is there, right? You are having Agni because it is Agni Trikona. You are having Akasha because of Brihaspati. So that is why there is a Devata over there. If Jupiter was not there, there is no Devata over there. Now think of the 12th house, it is Jala and Akash. Jala is absolute love, absolute compassion, absolute kindness. And Akash. So that is what we are having. So Rupa is there where? Is it in the 9th house or in the 12th house? In the 9th house. So therefore 9th house for Dharma Devata must have a Rupa. Whereas 12th house, like water, I am explaining from Jyotish because that is, I can use some other shastra. I can use Chandas to explain. But no, this is correct. You see, Jyotish is very easy to understand.
One more. Sorry.
People are waiting for dinner. It is 7:30. The question may be written.
I just want to ask you, once explained that when worshipping Vishnu, Rama and Krishna ji, it has to be, they have to be worshipped in blue color. So I was just thinking of blue color is related to Shani and black to Rahu. So why do we choose, why is blue color so special, or why,
Which blue are you talking about? That's where the problem arises. How many shades of blue are there? Right. Cyan is a blue? Right. What about sky blue? Blue? Right. So there are shades, there are shades. We need to be very clear what shade we are talking about. The color of the sky. But I never said that Krishna should be blue. I have never made that mistake in my life. It is not possible. Krishna cannot be blue. Cannot. If that painting has blue color Krishna, I will not worship it. It has to be pitch black. Pitch black in color. Someday I will teach that to you. Two devatas have to be pitch black in color. Krishna and Balaram. They have to be. Where do you think the pitch black color comes? Which tattva? Which chakra? Vayu is gray. Pitch black is Akash. Pitch black color is Akash.